Tuesday, late afternoon, almost 3 o'clock. It has been a while since I made a video for this channel. Just busy, but just wanted to kind of touch base. We are doing everything the same. There is no change. Again, if you are new here, everything starts with the levels that I post in Discord. Then those who want get an indicator that plots those levels on the charts. So let's take a look at oil, for example. So the levels for oil that I post sometime after Globex opens, 6 p.m. Eastern, and this indicator plots the buy level, the sell level, and it finds the midpoint. The idea is very simple. Below the midpoint, you are looking to take short trades. Above the midpoint, you're looking to take long trades. I was in a long trade earlier and got stopped on the trail after the market touches the buy level. So if there is not enough, I guess, juice in the market, once it reaches the first target, which is the buy level, it reacts down. And then, sometimes there is not a lot of movement, and so that's life. So that's, oil, that's all they gave us. Now, gold was a bit of a different story. So gold here below the midpoint right away hits the sell level, then retests the midpoint, and again comes down to the sell level. Again, very much so range bound, but one would be looking for short trades if one trades gold. I am still in the S&P and the Nasdaq. I am going to close these trades soon. But as far as the S&P, so first, of course, price was below the midpoint and targeted the sell level at 98, 51.98. Now, here is the next thing that happens. Between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Eastern, so 2 hours to an hour and a half before the US session opens, I have a trade indications channel which basically gives an update for the S&P and the Nasdaq. And with the S&P we were talking about, and then of course I have a live room where I expand on this is a summary basically of what we do in the live room. In the live room I was saying that S&P would either, by the time 9 o'clock came, would either break down below 98 and target such prices as 88 and lower, or break above 06 and then target 12, 18 to 21, 24, and of course the buy level for today, 32. So once they broke above 06, that's what we were doing in the live room. That's what we were targeting, ultimately 32. Now, of course, what happens very often is when price breaks through a level, it would come down. In case of a long, come down. In the case of a short, come up, and retest this level. So right now it's just kind of going back and forth around this 32 buy level. In the Nasdaq, again, we were looking for the market to firm up above 160 to target 210, 255, and 310. Now, 310 was not actually hit. So this is an example where, at least so far, there's still an hour to go, but at least so far, we don't see the buy level at 310 being hit. But actually earlier, when the market first opened up, when the US session first opened up, we were targeting 18,065 with the market being below 160. So below 160, and I say it again here in the trade indications for the Nasdaq, is that below 160 we are looking lower toward 115, 18,065, and maybe even 18,005. Now, we did not see 18,005 today, but we did see the sell level at 18,065. But once they formed up and they got above 160, it was all good toward 210, 255, and 310, which, as I said, we did not reach yet at this point. At this point, I want to take a few minutes to talk about a concept that's not really being brought up much, and that is the role of time in understanding markets. Now, of course, as traders, we are focused on price. We make or lose money based on price. What I'm going to suggest here is that time not only plays a major role, but in a sense, time is more important than price. And if you can just kind of imagine that, price, in a sense, moves through time. Well, really time and space, but just not to get too theoretical, price moves through time. You can definitely have time without price, right? You can have just a blank chart, but you cannot have price without time. Price is in time, and that's why time is more important than price. Now I'm going to demonstrate something for you. So first of all, again, these are the levels posted last night. This is the sell level. That's what we'll be focusing on. So when we first meet at 8 a.m., even before then, a few minutes before that, in the trade indications channel, I have an update, and for the Nasdaq is below 160, targeting 18,065 and 18,005. So 65 is the sell level, and that's why this becomes kind of a major target. So when we meet at 8 a.m., price is fluctuating between, call it 100 and 120. So about 45 to 60 points away from the target of 65. And I say here, as long as they stay below 160, they really cannot avoid getting to that 65. Well, we had to wait until the session opens. This is the New York Open, 9:30 Eastern. And very quickly, right after the open, they rush and they complete the 65. 65 is touched. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, there was going to be a reaction, but I think we should see lower. 18,005 was the target below 65 that I was thinking about after a reaction higher. So a reaction is completely normal. Here is price, it was price coming to 65. How much time does it spend? This is a 1-minute chart. How much time is spent here? Very little time. And it shoots up to a level above, which again described in the morning meeting, 115. It's also in the trade indications. 115 is a level above 65. So price comes to this 115 and fails, and of course if it fails at 115, it's gonna attack this 65 again. And now I'm thinking, well, this time they're gonna break it. But look what happens. They attempt once, they attempt twice, and once again they move away. At this point now, and I made it clear in the room, now I begin to have doubts about breaking 65 and going down to 18,005. Why do I have doubts? Because as I'm looking at this, next to no time was spent. In this case, price didn't actually even touch 65. It stopped somewhere like 67 or 68. This now is bullish behavior. You see, if price came down and spent a long time at 65, I believe it would eventually break it. but because it spent no time, very little time in this area, that turned things around. And all of a sudden, not only is there no another attempt at the 65, but now we're starting to attack 160, which is the level above which we start to be bullish. That's what I said in the room. Above 160, not only in the room, but again, 160 here, a bit after 7:30 a.m. Eastern, so like 2 hours before the market opens. I talk about the importance of this 160. Once we get above 160, then we target 210, 255 and higher, and that's exactly what happens. But unlike the very little time spent at 65, once 160 is conquered, price gets above it for a long time. It doesn't even come back to it. So that is the concept of incorporating time into the equation of the condition of the market. Spending a lot of time above 160 as opposed to spending next to no time in 18,065. That's what created this move from a bearish condition right below the midpoint, bearish condition, to all of a sudden a bullish condition. So, and now that's topic for a different video. It is actually possible to trade based on time, not only based on price. You can actually trade based on time. A whole different video. Get to it some other time. But anyway, I'm going to show my rhythmic dashboard next. Okay, so just wanted to touch base. Again, it's been a while since I made a video. I am going to make more effort of making more videos, live trading or whatnot for this channel. I want to thank you for your patience, and maybe I'll see some of you in our Discord group and in the live room. Some great things are happening actually in the live room. I'm getting a great feedback from traders. So, all right, that's it. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.